Oh, it's overtime. Overtime. You thought you were done with us, but you got more of us, assuming you clicked on the right video. And I think my camera's messed up now because
someone was watching our podcast at Buffalo Wild Wings, and they were freaking out. And then the server did one of those. They pulled the lever down, and they said, Dynasty Roundtable overtime. We're here.
OT. It was a tie game. I tell you, there was an overtime. Well, it's not called overtime, but there was an extra innings at the Royals game last night, and there was a balk off, and it was pretty exciting for a last place team like the Royals. Anyway, enough baseball talk. What do we think of Tyler? Was talking about the Elijah Moore training camp video that you saw earlier. I don't know if we want to go there or not.
I can pull it up real fast. I'll put it right next to the camera. So just pay attention to where Elijah Moore first gets touched.
Can you send it in the chat? I can put it on the screen.
Yeah, we could send it in the chat. Yeah. So Elijah Moore's tearing it up at camp. I mean, I think he is. But
I think he is tearing it up. But it's this video that I have a problem with.
Yeah, the drum beat is really loud for Elijah Moore right now. There's not a lot of hype circling on Donovan Peoples-Jones or Cedric Tillman, even Amari Cooper. I think Billy Muzio had a really interesting argument about DPJ potentially being Deshaun Watson's preferred target last season when Watson stepped in. And so it's interesting right now that the loudest voice at the Browns camp right now is about Elijah Moore. Granted, the storylines around him are the most newsworthy. The bits, Elijah Moore is going to create content, not Amari Cooper, not Donovan Peoples-Jones. So that's probably in part why there's been such a heavy focus to it. But now we have this link that I am going to pull up right now on Twitter, X. I have way too many tabs open.
Did you ever find the source of your YouTube thing? Was that one of your tabs?
It was a whole nother window of Google Chrome that had the trade, like out of nowhere. I don't know what I clicked. The Trade Gods episode with Maddie and Matt and the Podfather were playing, and like I just hear Matt just talking about, I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't football.
It was probably Quentin Johnston.
He was off on one of his tangents. But here we go. So can we see this now?
Yes. Here, let me get rid of the overlay.
Just pay attention to where Elijah Moore gets touched, and it's kind of insane. Like it's supposed to be like, I feel like it's supposed to be like a hype piece for Elijah Moore. So he catches the ball. Right there. Just would have been like a 2-yard tackle for loss. And then he did, he would have tackle right there too. And it's like, bye Elijah Moore now. You know what I mean?
This is supposed to be like this big hype clip, but like, well,
I think he clearly would have been tackled there.
Yeah, for sure. 26 has him there and then just decides that he doesn't need to keep.
He literally taps off. He literally taps off right at the hips. Probably been tackled there too on that juke. But it's like, oh no, Elijah Moore, 80-yard touchdown.
Man, what an attendance.
Doesn't even finish the route. He's not Evan Hall at the combine. Didn't even finish the route. Didn't even finish the play.
Did you guys see Travis Kelce punch a linebacker at Chiefs practice?
Yeah,
Kelce was
I love that because that's just that brings out like the stereotypical, these guys are just itching to hit somebody else, man. They're fired up. They're out here every day at practice. They're competing. They're playing hard, and they're just waiting to take this out on someone else, man.
Yeah, all this training camp stuff. One account that I do not recommend at all is that NFL Rookie Watch account that just puts quotes on like the most random of words. I see it like come across my timeline. I'm like, what? Like, why is this even news? I don't even know.
Did you hear about the one about Tyquan Thornton?
No, I didn't see that one.
It's one that I made, literally making fun of that exact account where it's like Tyquan Thornton has, quote, unbelievable speed. Some are calling him the next. I remember that we literally talked. I think it was the last time I was on the Roundtable. It's just this account that just comes up with these. It's like they'll hype up anybody. It does not matter who it is. They will do it to anybody.
Yeah. I heard this UDFA out of UCF, this huge ass. He's really lighting up training camp. Jack Kavanaugh was reporting and said he's reportedly been lights out in training camp, and he has been pinpoint with his accuracy. He could change the game.
I heard that Jason Brownlee could quote be a real threat to take over Garrett Wilson's number one wide receiver spot.
I believe it. I believe it.
So clearly this OT video has just come to us making fun of training camp trends and all these little bits that happen. So what are the other stupid content pieces that we get from training camp?
I'm gonna be honest. I've just really been paying attention to Bears training camp, and Justin Fields is looking pretty good. So I don't know how much any of it really means. You know, like I want to say that with my approach to training camp should be don't even pay attention to training camp. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? And is that stupid of me to think? Because I think it every year. I'm thinking, why am I paying attention to this? And maybe I suppose there's something you can glean from training camp, right? We talked about injuries, maybe depth charts. I don't know, but it's just coaches are just trying to figure out what they have. You know, this is the perfect opportunity for them to play different players in different roles. So I don't know how much of it means. And I think these quotes that Tyler's coming up with are the perfect representation of what training camp is to some people. And it's just, I think it's important if you do pay attention to it, just pay attention to credible people like we talked about in the episode, because there's a lot of people just looking for clicks out there. So that's my advice to anybody watching this overtime session is don't fall for Kerryon Johnson, and don't fall for what's another receiver that Quentin Johnston. When you there we go, there I said his name. I said the very bad man's name, Quentin Johnston.
We get
don't fall for him.
We get so wrapped up in just missing football that when we finally get it in front of our eyes, we just freak out, because if you don't pay attention to training camp, you probably are going to, your takes are probably more on point pre-training camp than what you tried to adjust them to. Because I know I wasn't among the camp, but Josh Jacobs was being faded into the dirt because he came out and started and played a series or two in the Hall of Fame game, just because like Josh McDaniels is a bad coach and he thinks that his starters should be just getting reps in the Hall of Fame game, and not because Josh Jacobs was going to be this like massive bust at ADP, and people were hyping up Zamir White over nothing. And you look at all of these training camp videos and all it's just fun. It's content hunting. We're in the season where they're putting the bait on the pole, you're throwing it out there, and you're seeing what you can catch.
Yeah.
You're saying anything to clicks.
You know what's better than the quotes is the one-on-one routes that are like quadruple moves against, you know, it's like a corner, like the Bijan Robinson routes that are coming out. Like some of those are nice, but we knew this is what Bijan Robinson was, but now people are actually seeing it. So it's like, oh, he's better than everyone thought. It's like, no, he's not. It's what they drafted him to be. It's why he went top 10. But now people are like seeing it against a linebacker. And now today, like it was like 3 in a row where it's like against a linebacker, and today it was against a corner. It's like, oh my God, he can do it against corners too. And then there's like, and then you got like quadruple moves that take like 10 seconds to do. It's like, that's not happening in the game. It's like, but oh, he left that corner in the dust with no safety help for 10 seconds. Like, this guy's built different.
Yeah. I think, I definitely think it's worth monitoring, but you know, I do think that the exercise that I talked about in the show, just kind of keeping track of player values, keep like how much is training camp influencing the rise or fall of certain players. Most of the time it's overhyped when they're they're rising up, and it's overhyped when they're falling way down. So just taking advantage of those ADPs, especially in those best ball drafts, especially in your dynasty leagues, is I think where the action is for me and why I keep an eye on it. Any final words? We're at 10 minutes. I promised Matt Babbage this wouldn't go much longer for 10 minutes. Any final words of wisdom in this overtime session? Because the final seconds are ticking down here.
My final words: Marquez Valdez-Scantling out of Kansas City over anyone else but Travis Kelce.
Ooh, that's a good way to end this.
I love that.
That's a good way to end this, Aditya. Like, what's your draft day pick? Because what's the guy? Who did he pick in draft day? Kevin Costner. He writes the thing on the. Remember, Bradley brought this up.
Vontae Mack.
Vontae Mack, or no one else, or nothing or something. I don't know what he wrote exactly.
No, it's Vontae Mack no matter what.
So who's your no matter what player? Aditya, is it MVS? You can pick a new one. MVS.
No, I'm sticking with MVS.
Okay, Tyler, who's your no matter what player?
Tyler Algier.
Matt Babbage.
Christian Watson.
My no matter what players, Aaron. No, it's not. It is David Montgomery, and you all knew that anyway. But if I had to give another one, I'm not going to give another one. But if I did give another one, it would be Roshan Johnson. Bye-bye, everybody.